You left on a little cliffhanger.
Also,
Did you know what happened?
Pat, I watched more episodes. I watched more episodes in a bitch than I normally would. I was like, you know, two things happened. I like Amphibia that much, or I really needed the palate cleanser at the SAL. What works?
Alright, anyways. Onwards!
You brought that on yourself.
Onwards to more mystery!
Yeah.
So if we just try to catch it,
January 9th, as it's declared Nicomina's cabin.
The doors somehow been bolted shut during the ship's emergency maneuvers. Susanoo drew a deep breath and wordlessly unbolted the latch.
Here we go, folks. Oh.
Filthy rats! What are you doing in say your name again?
Nikomina.
In Nicomina's room. It appears that both of you are unharmed.
Yes, we are. What exactly happened? I heard something from the speaking tube about ships colliding.
That appears to have been a misunderstanding.
Misunderstanding?
An emergency warning was indeed sounded throughout the entire ship. However, the ship merely made a temporary stop due to low visibility caused by the sea's fog. Ship is mess. Passengers going crazy, and captain is red with fury.
Oh.
At the moment, only the first class area remains calm.
I see.
A false alarm rang out, and there had to have been someone who pushed the button.
Beep! You dark, shady intruder!
Yes, she really is putting her all in that sweet.
You opened trunk without asking.
Huh? Oh, no, it wasn't us!
That's right! The trunk was already open when we came back in. Mr. Detective!
Yes? Oh, wrong voice. Yes?
Arrest this man. I am knowing everything. This man is murderer too, yes?
Exactly! And stowaway too!
Cody, arrest him for trespassing.
Murderer, stowaway, trespasser, nowhere to your troubles is there.
I really can't excuse myself from this one.
Ship has solitary cell. You go in isolation now. We arrive at Hong Kong tomorrow. Then you arrive at police custody.
Isolation?
Detective Hosanage, isn't there anything we can do?
We are on a Russian ship. I have no authority as an officer of the law here. While I convinced the captain to be lenient before, I fear that would no longer be possible.
No.
Gotta find a way out of this pinch. And quickly at that. Azanaga?
You got yourself into some more trouble, I see. Why were you caught trespassing?
I'm sorry about that. I was trying to find clues.
Well, I've already lost any influence I had. There's nothing I can do. Next time, I'm sure they won't be willing to leave it at a single punch.
Exactly.
Pretty sure your face says more than a single punch.
A little bit.
Damn.
Poor
A little
dude.
bit. Detective.
And I am to blame for this as well, because I gave you the freedom to move about. I need to report this to the captain immediately.
He must be here somewhere. I need to find a savior, someone who can rescue me from this terrible crisis. Please, just give me a little more time.
Do not be stupid. The only thing I will give you is trip to the brig.
So annoying. Don't talk big just because you happen to be big. But I'm not guilty of any big. I'm not a murderer.
That you are guilty of stowaway and trespassing. Also, none as far as I know. Because I don't play TF2.
I haven't
I
played
haven't
TF2 in like literally over a decade at this point.
That's
Wow.
what to say. Anyways.
Well, people play many roles in life.
Hey, it is time to go. Your cell is ready for you.
Must be here somewhere. Need to find a savior. Someone who can rescue. Yeah.
Yeah, but Patrick, but seriously, who killed Heavy?
Get out!
Look, I'm sorry for entering your cabin without permission, but
And do not be coming back again.
see, we just wanted to investigate the murder. Looks like I won't be able to ask her for anything. Yeah.
Can you actually look around the room?
Okay.
Yeah, you can look left as well, actually. Yeah.
Jason, you knew that was coming and you still laughed anyway.
I remember that, yeah.
Ah, yes, that's me. You're probably wondering how I got into this.
Ah, yes, that's me. You're probably gonna have got into the situation.
What? What are you doing over there?
I forgot about the tiara.
So, what's our record for how fast Jason cracked?
I think that was even 5 minutes. Mr. Holt?
Oh, you know, I want to feel the weight of the 20,000 rubles on my head. For you see, a detective must be able to comprehend anything and everything. I swear that there were no shenanigans afoot. Indeed, I would never steal from anyone.
I love the
Last time, why were you hanging from the clothes hook on the wall?
Ah, that. I simply want to experience the profundity of being 20,000 rubles. And to crush that cheeky hook, poking its head out of the wall with a snap!
It's no use, I honestly can't figure out what in the world he's talking about.
Are you that self-proclaimed great detective?
Hello, good detective. I've been looking for all of you, actually. I wish to report some information, if you would be so kind as to allow it.
I must not be a great detective, as I have no desire to hang for that wall hook. So what is it? What is this information?
When it comes to a great detective's reports, there can only be one subject to discuss. Namely, regarding the mysterious murder that occurred on the Esses of Claire last night. I have just completely solved it, ladies and gentlemen. Here's my report.
What?
What did you just say?
By the way, chat, is stream looking good to you guys? Cause it's been green, but it's kind of been dipping into yellow, and then like red for a second, and then back up to green. I just want to make sure that it
So
yeah,
far,
it looks like
fine.
on Twitch and stuff like that, it's been fine. I just wanted to make sure, kind of thing. I haven't noticed any dips, any like big dips. So yeah.
Yeah.
Fraser, you got the right idea.
I brought this master to its conclusion. There should be no other possibilities. I should now elucidate the matter for you. Something only a great detective can do. A great detective's great deduction.
This again, alright.
Ha! Solved? What nonsense is this? We are already knowing the identity of culprit. It is that stowaway in handcuffs. No other possibility.
Wasn't me!
Yet there are no other individuals who could have carried out the murder. After all, the cabin was locked from within by the bolt on the latch. The culprit must have been inside the cabin. There's no other reasonable explanation.
It's just like the locked room murders that see in detective novels, isn't it?
It's in mine too.
She is right! The locked room thing!
Locked room?
You're right. Doors can't possibly be unbolted from the other side, but...
I'm sorry to disappoint you. Oh, I'm sorry to disappoint you all, but that cabin was not a perfect lock room.
Huh?
There is, in fact, one other entrance at the crime scene. That entrance was the one used by the culprit when the crime was committed.
What is this other interest you speak of?
Even now, it lies open before your very eyes. The air duct!
The air duct, you say? You cannot be serious! You could not even fit on into shaft as small as this one!
Well, at least not your giant arm.
So you're saying the culprit entered the cabin through that tiny shaft? And who exactly would be capable of doing that?
As it turns out, last night, the victim himself witnessed the culprit's appearance.
Could you be referring to the context of the journal we found in Cosmo's desk? 1 hour and 23 minutes after midnight, I heard a sound like a low whistle. 1 hour and 35 minutes after midnight, I saw a speckled band at the air ducts.
Precisely.
What could that speckled band possibly be?
The answer to that mystery is hiding somewhere in this very room.
By the way, ED, you got it. What
Okay.
we talked about earlier.
Alright. That's you.
Mr. Holmes, what do you mean?
Distracted by his
It's Fists of Fury are very much distracted to me. I mean, look at them. Look.
Get him!
Get him!
You see, okay.
Worry not.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Worry not. I will be well. There may be a bit of
That
ruckus
was
though.
like after I went to emo live, I just remembered what I was thinking for the other one was possibly to do the Gravity Falls guy of just to get him.
Oh boy.
You've been distracted. Retweet to get
Yeah,
distracted.
you've been distracted by Mr. Holmes. Feast your eyes as I unveil something truly mystifying yet intriguing. There!
Ah,
Whoa!
snake people.
Ladies and gentlemen, allow me the pleasure of introducing the true identity of the fearsome speckled band.
That's a snake, isn't it?
Just so.
What is happening? Uh-huh.
Mr. Holmes, may I ask a question?
Yes, please, by all means.
I'm not sure if you noticed, but I don't really think speckled describes, a goddamn snake. No matter how I look at it, it's more striped than anything else.
Yes, that does seem to be more accurate. It's more of a striped band.
Listen, I have the perfect solution. If there's a snake, then all we need is a snake eater! There, I did it.
Quite the clever observation. However, what if I were to tell you that this very fact is part of the culprit's devious trap?
What? You're saying it's a trap?
What kind of trap would that be?
Allow me to elucidate. The time has come for me to reveal my findings. Do you understand the possible implications of what I'm about to say, Miss Nikomina?
The Japanese man died. Very sad. But that is all. I am knowing nothing at all.
Just like last time, I have come to two conclusions. First of all, last night your friend slithered into the victim's cabin.
Yeah?
And secondly, your friend took the victim's life.
What's the name of the track again, ED?
Sherlock Holmes Beyond Deductions.
Nikomina's turning pale. Looks like his two conclusions have hit the mark again.
So this young lady's friend was the one who took Osogi's life?
Thank you, Snake.
Yeah, that's right. I made him mute now. He's under my control now. Otacon.
Otacon.
Taking out Sailor. Move to the entrance of the base. It's so hard to hack.
Otacon.
Snake's got a fight script. He can't even
The time
speak.
machine worked. The time machine worked. I went back in time. And now,
Sailor, I suggest that you remain absolutely still. If you were to engage in this with the snake and suffer a bite, it would not end well for you. Now, everyone, shall we begin? Come, one and all, to Sherlock Holmes, teacher of logic and reason.
I did that, like, I'm guessing certain cases are just not gonna be in trial, and this is our equivalent of, you know, doing, like, cross-examinations and stuff like that. This has been a really long investigation, and I kind of doubt we're having court at this point. The intruder.
Who has bones in my joint reasoning?
Miss Nikomina, you said this yourself. I am knowing nothing. Nothing at all.
Oh.
However, you are unable to lie to yourself. Indubitably, it's only natural to feel pain in your heart upon recalling the events. That very same pain is the evidence of your relation to the victim's death. But, who entered the scene that night, you ask? That would be the friend you carried on board the ship, wouldn't it? No surprise there, your line of sight shifted this time as well. Naturally, your friend is that snake. However, if that were the case, one problem would present itself. It was the speckled band that was witnessed by the victim last night. Like him reaching out to Holmes, and yet
He's right there. I just need to grab him.
Grab and up till him.
Have you seen the hitbox?
unfortunately, no matter how you look at it, you cannot call this snake a speckled band.
Hitbox is like 3 character lengths ahead of me.
And yet he somehow out of reach. He must be a hacker.
So then, what did the victim see last night?
Do not look! I am knowing nothing about this, too!
Indubitably, the answer to that question is what you just tried to hide. Thus, it is that snake skin without a doubt. Indubitably, after that incident, your friend shedded skin, isn't that right?
What are you talking about?
Last night, the snake covered in speckles sneaked through that entrance over there. Guided by that call bell, it slowly slithered down into the room. In the dim light, the victim saw it as a speckled band. Therefore, the identity of your friend who sneaked onto the scene is almost a unusual snake capable of changing its appearance by shedding. I wonder if such a snake exists within the realms of India.
Take 2 action. We are playing this via the Scarlet Study, translation patch. You can find information down below in the button, titled Scarlet Study, so, yeah.
Topic 2, fatal injury. Next, let's get into the core matter of his death. How and why was the victim's life robbed from him? From the information I have.
Game?
What information, Holmes?
Game?
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Holmes?
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh no. Oh,
Save
no.
state.
I got you the programming.
Save state. Save state
This
for your
snake
life.
has gone too far.
Gonna
I got you the programming thing.
restart that. Hold on.
Code.
What the hell happened there?
I don't know. That never happened to me.
So weird.
Oh no, Otacon, reset the
Can
game.
you load it?
Hey,
Can you actually load it?
Let me first try for the continue point just to see, because I think it did that last time.
No, but you actually saved then.
Okay, hold on.
So load the emulation. Or load the save state.
Logic broke the game.
Oh, bot.
Oh boy. Well, you know what to do, Pat. What's it called? By the this, if you go to set, well, time to reset
Yeah.
back over there. By the way, remember, if you go to like settings, you can turn on speed read.
In the like configure part of the.
The saves. No, not the game itself.
Oh,
the game itself.
Okay.
You go like to save. There's like another. It says there's a little setting thing. It says turn on speed reading.
Okay.
Basically, fast forward. Yeah, you can just turn on and off if you. Yeah.
That's 2 times now. It's weirdly saying okay.
Make sure you save the game often. Make sure you know when to save the game.
Okay.
Yeah, you can go down to the save. Press the save button. Bottom right. Yeah. Turn on skip. Go back. Hold down whatever the B button is, or just hold it down.
Alright.
Yeah. This won't take long. So how's everyone in chat doing?
No, now I'm seeing his face actually, and that soldier's face looks like he does have marks of like something being wrapped around. So I wouldn't be surprised if the snake did get him earlier. Now I'm noticing that.
Alright, time to bring out the snake, y'all.
He slutters and he caws.
Snake eater.
Okay. Got the game to crash on.
Otacon, wait, Otacon, what happened? I got you the code. I don't
I
know.
broke-
Snake. I think he reset the game. Reset the game. He can do
Yeah.
that. Well, he is the great detective.
Got it. The controller's abort.
It was after the second one, the
Yeah.
first one. After you get to that point, save the game. I am too fast for you fuckers.
Again, I'm playing 64 DGS.
This is how I actually view the world, by the way.
Just all in fast motion.
Sherlock Holmes experiences life.
Zoom!
Just all this information processed through his brain at once.
Yeah, this is how fast information
Well, I
gets
think
to
I
his
do
head.
know in most adaptations, Holmes does get high,
Yeah.
so...
And I thought he switched structure something. Alright, make save now, save now. I know when to stop speed reading basically. It's when that image loads.
Alright. Try it again.
Just keep going until you get that image.
Right here.
Or just like
Okay, I picked right here.
yeah, okay, now you can turn off speed reading.
Alright.
I recommend turning it off.
Yeah. Okay. So
There we go.
I'll try and at least
Okay.
save state more often and stuff like that, just in case. Actually, let me.
Yeah. From the information I have.
I just see it. Can I actually, real quick, now that I think about it, can I set a hotkey for a save state? Let me do that.
You probably can.
I just want to do that real quick, just so. Hotkeys. Save state. Is there not a save state one? There's load file and stuff like that. Where is save state?
Probably something to set that later.
Yeah, we'll set it later.
Right, save for the game. Yeah. Okay, back to voicing. Intuitively, the truth behind the victim's death lies in this deadly poison. And so, if that is indeed the truth,
I'll be
it
right
is
back.
possible that the crime scene still contains hints about the murder.
You lie.
Intuitively, examining the corpse will let us prove the cause of death. There should be a small, near-visible trace of the poisonous fang on the victim's body. The trace of your friend, the terrible venomous snake's bite.
What are you talking about?
Miss Nikomina, it is pointless to feign ignorance. After the incident, you made sure to hide everything, correct? Intuitively, your line of sight leads straight to the location of the concealment. The evidence of this terrible murder is hidden within your trunk. When I first arrived in this cabin, that trunk moved. The murder weapon, the snake, happened to rattle about that moment, correct?
No. No way, Jose.
By the way, the victim heard a soft sound akin to a whistle before the incident. That is the signal you blew in order to manipulate your snake.
Manipulate?
You left your snake loose into the air duct and called it back after a set period of time. It was unknown to you if the bite landed, so you decided to investigate the room. If the victim was still alive, you planned to just send out that snake again. And this, I'd imagine, is just what the snake was trained to do.
You are wrong.
Guided by the call bell from the entrance, it took one little bite with its venomous fangs. The venom ran through the victim's body, snuffing out his last emperor for all eternity. That is precisely the true identity of the speckled band which robbed the victim's life. I can only hope that my deduction is incorrect. And there you have it. The great deductions of Sherlock Holmes have been revealed.
Alrighty. Well, I already know that how he got the body did not die from venom, so.
Well then.
Mr. Quinn had been trained the snake to be used as a weapon. Over there is a milk saucer. I summarized that milk was the treat to use to assist with the training.
Wow. This time the mystery's solved for sure. Good heaven.
Jason is dead.
That
Jason.
was a brilliant, great deduction. This truly is the great detective Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, please. This is but the first step. It certainly helped to at least stave off my boredom, however.
Uh-huh. Excuse me. A moment, please, Mr. Holmes.
Yes, of course. Tell me what's on your mind.
There is one thing I'm just a smidge curious about that deduction.
Ah, yes. Questions are certainly welcome. I'd be glad to answer them firmly and precisely.
Thank you. First...
Hola, Google.
None. Snakes are born from eggs, therefore they are classified as reptiles.
I see. You know your stuff.
Reptiles do not drink milk.
Huh?
The only animals that would willingly drink milk are mammals. I do not think that one can train a snake with milk.
Ah, yes. Then surely she trained it using a different treat. Milk is just an example. The problem is not important to investigate.
Next, snakes do not have ears.
Huh?
Therefore, I do not think it would be possible to manipulate that creature with a whistle.
However, you know those stories. There's tons of snakes that twirl and dance in flutes in the land of Arabia.
But the flute is played with the match of the movements of the snake, not the other way around.
Is that so?
Dun.
No arms, legs, or ears. Just how simple of a creature are you, snake?
Please don't take your frustration out on the snake.
So, may I move on to my next point?
There's more?
A snake uses its scales on its stomach to move. It would be impossible for it to descend using something as flat as this bell rope.
But why?
Getting mad at me won't change how reality is. Anyway, even if you send a snake through the air ducts, it cannot return by itself. Therefore, no matter how you look at it, it would be very difficult for a snake to commit this crime.
Horse.
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 Horse. What is this man from Europe? Now we identified the issues. It's time to do it again, Naruhodō.
By do it, you mean...
Yes, it's time to turn that deduction into a great deduction.
Should have expected it would come to this. Understood. Let's do this.
That's just what I wanted to hear. Master Naruhodō.
Yeah!
Take a look at your hands this time as well.
Hands, sir?
Look at that, you're free again.
Again.
The handcuffs are gone.
I'm back. What did...
And like before, there's no need to worry. You can have them back when we're finished.
Trust me, I am very not worried about it.
Now everyone, shall we begin? Come on another Sherlock Holmes, teacher of logic and reason.
Alright.
WiiDude.
Yeah.
Let's, first skip
Begins the
through
same.
this.
No, I think
Yeah. Feel pain in your
There you go.
heart. It really doesn't look like she's in a deal of pain.
Yes, indeed. She appears to feel truly guilty about Kazuma's death.
Considering her oblivious confusion on what Mr. Holmes is saying, there's most likely a different meaning to her facial expression.
Well then, let's make sure we fully expect Nikomina. Don't take that out of context.
Right here. Oh!
You can examine
yeah,
stuff
let me
to be sure.
examine that. Okay. Okay, so I think it's gotta be the claw wound. Yeah.
There goes.
Indubitably, the only natural to feel pain in your claw wound upon recalling the events.
No doubt, from the looks of it, the wound is still fresh.
Nikomina? Could it be that your claw wound was inflicted last night?
Ah! I am regretting that this man had died. When I am regretting, this one hurts.
That very same pain is the evidence of your relation to the victim's death. But who entered the scene that night, you ask? That would be the friend you carried on board this ship, wouldn't it? No surprise there, your line of sight shifted this time as well. Naturally, your friend is that snake.
Right? Regarding that claw wound, it must have been a wound caused by your friend, right? But snakes don't have claws, do they?
Right. To begin with, they do not even have any hands from claws to grow from.
That's the case. That just could what be the true identity of her friend be?
If we look towards where Nikomina is unconsciously directing her gaze, I'm sure that we'll find that answer.
Alright.
So somewhere in this area is...
Let me just... I feel like it's gotta be that portrait.
You can examine it.
Ah! There we are! This is a photograph. Must be something Nikomina brought on board with her.
Nikomina's truly is quite beautiful.
That's definitely true, but if you ask me, I'm still a bit more interested in this little black one over here. I should take a closer look at this photograph. Get in!
Kitty.
Cat!
Kitty! Naturally, your friend is that kitten.
Right, one look at that claw wound and it becomes painfully clear.
A black kitten. I don't know where it is right now, but you brought it along as you saw Asylum, correct?
Hi! Blackie is my friend. Cannot leave behind.
So the kid's name is Blackie. However, if that was the case, then one problem presents itself. It was a speckled band that the victim witnessed last night. However... no matter how you look at it, this kitten looks nothing like a speckled band. So then, what did the victim see last night?
Do not look! I am knowing nothing about this too!
Indubitably, the answer to that question is what you've just tried to hide. Thus, it is a snakeskin without a doubt.
Nikomina. She took out what's in her pocket and hid it behind her back without thinking.
Kept it in her pocket. She would have gotten away with it.
I would expect no less from Holmes' forte. His bluffs!
Shouldn't a great detective's forte be his deductions?
At any rate, it is difficult to believe that would be a cast-off snakeskin.
And what on earth could it be? What's Nikomina trying to hide? Yeah, I don't think it's a snakeskin. Hey. What is that though? There's something like hiding in that. Ah, okay, there we go.
Yeah, it's that thing. It's not snakeskin at all.
There we go, now it just...
Yeah, changed.
Not that! Thus, it's a cat toy, without a doubt.
Yes, in other words, that would be the true identity of this speckled band.
Ah!
You dangled that toy through the air duct, correct? You must have swung it quite fiercely. It's no surprise the victim caught sight of it.
However, why would she do such a thing?
That goes without saying. She had hoped to use the toy, waving it wildly to catch her kitten's attention. Then, bewitched by that tantalizing toy, the kitty runs home and jumps into her arms.
Oh.
Indubitably, the identity of a friend that stole into the scene of none other than that tricky kitten, Little Blackie.
Eek!
What a truly troublesome cat. If I ever catch sight of it, I'll catch it for you. I'll borrow that photograph of Blackie for a bit. Yay.
Kitty.
Last night I gave Blackie meal. Then Blackie scratched my hand, then ran to the call bell. Before I could move, vanished into air duct. Blackie's bad kitty.
Oh gosh, that was all topic 1, jeez.
I know, that felt like, honestly, that felt like 2, to be honest.
Alright, let's save, just in case.
Yeah, save just in case.
Oh, it's time.
Save.
Alright. Let's get to the cause of the matter of death.
Let's get to the core matter of his death. How and why was the victim's life robbed from him? With the information I have, the corpse did not show a single trace of external injury.
Ah,
Indubitably, the truth behind the victim's death lies in this deadly poison.
Wrong.
I think I had to
Holmes
voice this,
must be
honestly.
right. It is true that Cosmo did not have any external
Yes,
wounds.
but it looks like there's some information that Mr. Holmes is aware of. So he didn't die from poison.
That certainly appears to be the case. Let's tell about the information.
Alright, let's see which.
Yep.
Indubitably, the truth is hidden behind the victim's death lies in this post-mortem.
Look at that smirk.
I just knew it had to be one or the other.
Into this now.
His neck?
The only person who could live with a broken neck would be that sailor over there.
No, I'm
Dang.
pretty sure Mr. Sharpcock is a human too.
Anyway, the victim had his neck broken. If that is indeed a fact. It is possible that the crime scene still contains hints about the murder.
You lie!
Indubitably, examining the corpse will let us prove the cause of death.
Soki died from a broken neck. I suppose that means he would have to construct.
That's certainly possible. However, as of yet, we still have not found any potential weapons.
That's unlikely that the trespassing didn't struck him.
Or perhaps, if he have toppled over and took an unlucky fall. If fortunate enough, that could very well have broken his neck.
Might be like toppled over, huh?
However, this is Cosmo we're talking about. It is difficult to believe that he could have been so clumsy.
Regardless, we'll have to make the right change. Just where could he be the remaining trace of Sogi's death be?
Send evidence.
Alright, let's see.
Of course.
I'm gonna say this. Yeah!
At first try.
Indubitably, examining floor markings will help us prove the cause of death.
There were more traces left over, traces of shoe polish on the floor.
Shoe polish?
I examined it with my homemade analysis machine that I carry around for fun. Beeswax, tallow, and dye. The composition matches that of a shoe polish perfectly.
Furthermore, the color of the shoe polish is the same that of Asogi's leather boots. By looking at these traces, you can accurately guess what had happened. It's likely that something caused him to lose footing and tumble over.
No.
He must have then unfortunately suffered a severe impact to his neck and as he fell to the floor. The instant the victim took that fin on the cheese cervical vertebrae, he took his last breath.
No! I am knowing nothing. Nothing at all.
Is that really true? When the victim perished, a certain piece of evidence remained at the scene.
Indeed, now then. You must have desperately tried to hide that damn piece of evidence, didn't you? Indubitably, your lie sadly leads straight to the location of concealment. The evidence of this terrible murder is hidden within your trunk.
Huh? No. Kazuma died because he tripped over and fell? Is that all? That must be a lie. I refuse to believe such a thing.
There's no denying that the traces of the floor show exactly that.
Well, yes, but...
Plus, according to Mr. Holmes' theory, Nikomina tried to hide any evidence of the incident. It lies in this cabin, directly in Nikomina's line of sight.
Just where did Nikomina hide
Let's
it?
investigate this thoroughly. The answer must be here.
I don't think tiara means anything.
Would it be that wastebasket then?
I mean, you can examine it. What's in there again?
Ah, there we are.
A thing.
Hi. The evidence that you took the victim's life is hidden within your waste paper bin.
I've seen this real piece of glass somewhere before.
Indubitably, take this fragment that was found on the floor of Asogi's cabin and... like so, it fits perfectly.
Come now, Miss Nikomina, would you kindly explain yourself? Why is it that piece of evidence of the broken glass found at the scene of the crime is in your cabin's waste paper bin? I'm sure you're familiar with this glass bell.
That is...
Your trademarked I am knowing nothing won't work here, if you're wondering why. There is decisive evidence that proves you're the connection to it.
Huh?
Isn't that right, Master Naruhodō?
Yes! This is a piece of evidence that links to Nikomina's glass bell. Let me just check that picture. Yeah! It's clearly depicted in this photograph. Hanging from Blackie's neck is none other than the very same glass bell.
Miss Nikomina, you can no longer run. The victim fell onto the cabin floor and lost his life in a terrible twist of fate.
And the fated fall.
Alright.
3, 2, 1. Had something to do with your
Had something to do with your
Blackie!
friend! Blackie!
My heart.
Good job, guys. I'll give it a 4 out of 100.
It was synced up on my end, so it worked fine.
Yeah, we'll
No
probably
matter
see that by
what.
ED's in.
I could not say this. Sorry.
Really?
He
Really?
got killed by a cat! He got killed by a cat!
That's how he died? What?
Is it?
Listen, man. Listen, this is why I'm a dog person.
What kills a samurai, a
This is why I'm
lawyer,
dog
a
person.
fucking cat?
This is why
An epic
dogs
attorney
are better
dies for
than cats.
kitten. It's truly tragic.
Dogs
Anyways.
don't kill people. Cats kill people.
Cats are the real murderers.
Nikomina,
Anyways.
please, we need you to tell us what exactly happened last night.
It was last night, hour after midnight, when I gave Blackie meal. He went mad and ran away from me.
I have heard that cats become very nervous when placed in a new environment.
Kitty disappeared into air duct. Then
So it was then that your hand was scratched.
yes. I know ship regulation cannot bring Kitty on ship.
Animals carry pathogens that can spread disease. It's too frightening to allow.
So I listened to cabin next door. Was very quiet. Probably sleeping, I think.
Edie?
And so, yeah, sorry, I was spaced out. And so you tried to call back the kitten in secret, didn't you? You tried waving Blackie's cat toy through that air duct.
It always brings Blackie back, but this time I use toy, I whistle, but Blackie does not return.
So that low whistle Sogi heard was meant to call back the kitten.
Hey, that kitty cats will hide under cover and refuse to come out if they're afraid.
I had no choice but to wait for Kitty to calm down. Then that killed a man.
Dogs are better.
I thought. Heart stopped. Suddenly, I heard loud voice, then a huge sound, and then heard nothing else.
Sogi.
Stretching for the marks left on the floor of the crime scene. The victim most likely stepped on the glass bell when he lost his footing. Although the Eclair may be a colossal ship, it can swing around with incredible force. It could be that he was falling. A nervous kitten had wrapped himself around his feet. As these continuous unfortunate incidents piled up, he could do little to prevent his fall.
My cat's living in the room. He could probably kill me any second if he wishes.
Still, just like a normal fall killed him? Like,
Hmm.
I don't know. Like, yeah, falling on your back would hurt, but would that really kill him?
Hmm.
I kind of find that hard to believe, so I don't think that's it.
In any case, what happened with the kitten
Because,
afterwards?
yeah, there's still the written message and stuff like that, so...
Hmm.
Later, he responded to my call and returned from air duct.
However, little Blackie is nowhere to be seen right now.
Forget to lock that trunk. Kitty wandered off again.
Good grief, that kitty cat's as restless as I am.
So he is aware of that he's restless.
Morning came. I heard the man next door is dead. But I could not say this. If people know truth about me, I have to go back. That scares me.
Well, if that's all true then, what about the snake?
Jason?
That's right.
If that wasn't Nikomina's friend, then why? Why is there such an extremely dangerous animal aboard this ship?
Oh, shit. Oh, forgot to mention the snake. A friend, you see. Name is Shoko.
Yeah, I figured, because I saw the rat marks around his head and stuff like that. What?
Double standard!
What?
You're saying that you're saying that's your snake? It escaped from the cage during a love reconcilia. I was looking for it. But was he all alone? Ha!
Just how did it escape in the first place?
However, isn't it forbidden to carry animals aboard this ship? We are sailing together for over a year now, yes? Such good friends cannot be torn apart.
Wonder if he has any other friends. Real friends, anyway. Damn!
Damn.
God.
Look here, Mr. Sailor. It's a big venomous snake of all things. Who would like that sort of thing?
It is not venomous. It is not venomous.
What?
See, Pedal Shoko here. Is long, but harmless to battle animal. What an adorable friend.
Harmless?
It's just croaking from hunger right now. Get food to bring back cuteness.
By food, do you mean things like milk and such?
Huh! Such a snake exists only in fairy tales.
By the way, this is actually mocking an actual Sherlock Holmes story, the whole thing with the snake.
Yeah.
Very, like, they actually did those things in the stories.
Pedosco loves mice. Round, fat mice.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, but that mousetrap along the cabin corridor is...
Yes! It is trapped it is trapped to catch its favorite food.
Wow. Circle of life is pretty harsh. Horse.
Horse. It doesn't drink milk, hear whistles, climb call bells, or even inject venom. Indeed, one could say, the world is never right to stand on!
There he goes!
Detective down! Detective down!
Down!
Who cares? Do not yell at me again!
When they don't...
Double
When they
standards!
don't have a Smash Brothers character in the Indie Direct.
Yes.
Anyway, Prosco has nothing to do with this incident.
So this is the truth behind the Sogi stuff. I don't buy it. I don't buy it.
So we're just staring at each other. Okay.
We all just standing here.
Yeah,
Nikomina Borskivis.
You sound
I
just like me.
understand that the position you have been put in is rough, and I sympathize with you. However, that said, should you take a man's life and lie in hopes of escaping your final punishment? You would be purely despicable, no matter how dire your circumstances may be. Huh?
What are you trying to say? Hasn't all the mysteries just been clearly unraveled before us? Everything was hinged on an unfortunate off-chance accident.
I am not able to see things as well as Mr. Holmes can. But I know for a fact this cannot be the truth. What do you think, Naruhodō?
Honestly, I had the same feeling. Yep. There's something out of place with Nikomina's words.
Let me be honest. I had thought to leave everything after this to Scotland Yard.
What?
There's only one reason why I'm investigating this incident. It's simply because I couldn't bear to look at you, Master Naruhodō.
Huh? You mean me?
Those cuffs binding your hands simply bothered me to no end.
Again? When did he do that?
I felt almost as if I had placed those handcuffs on you myself, you see. In any case, I thought to do something about it before this ship docks in Hong Kong.
Mr. Holmes.
However, there was one thing that slipped my mind. The departed victim was a very dear friend to both of you. That's the truth, isn't it?
Yes. Sogi was my best friend. He was the man who saved me.
Then... the truth that lies beyond this point should be sought by your very own eyes.
My own eyes? That odd feeling I got from Nikomina's words. Perhaps if I pursue it, I might be able to find the truth. The true story behind your death will finally come to light.
One of my favorite
Already
tracks.
love.
Yeah, solve me this case here and now.
Already hearing the first few notes, and I love it already. I understand. Give it a shot.
That's the spirit.
This track is criminally underplayed.
Naruhodō,
Is this the unfinished battle of this game?
It plays one more time in this
Okay.
game.
Throughout both games,
Now,
it's only
shall we
only
begin,
played
Master Naruhodō?
3 times.
Oh. Yes, sir.
It is criminally underplayed.
Well then, let's start with the first issue. No, it plays 4 times. Alright, the victim's corpse within the locked cabin. Was that really the result of an accident, or... perhaps it was not an accident at all? We should make this clear first.
Well, as I was just saying, the kitchen went through the air duct that caused his fall. It was clearly an accident.
Hold it! Wait, this isn't right. That line of thought is so obliviously flawed.
Might I beg an explanation?
Right, it's slowly becoming clearer. The contradiction behind Asogi's death is glaringly obvious. Simply put, Asogi's cabin holds decisive evidence of the contrary. His death was not a mere accident.
What did you say?
In that case, show me your so-called evidence. Show me the evidence that proves the death of the victim was not just an accident. Austin wasn't obvious. Yes, we're ending this case here and now.
Yeah. It's clearly shown in this photograph.
I'm fine.
It would have been impossible for Asogi to write that.
I hate chicken.
That's what I got.
Jason.
Oh yeah. Okay, my bad. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that writing is in moon runes, isn't it?
No.
Yeah. Precisely, it means wardrobe.
It would have been natural if it would have been that natural if his dying messes with the Japanese. However,
Sophie?
When did you learn Russian? It lagged a bit, sorry.
Right.
Russian is easy. Surprisingly
I
easy.
kinda
Bro.
doubt
You
that. Lie! Doubt. Give me some doubts in chat right now. Well, whatever the case, it doesn't matter.
what do you
As
mean?
I said before,
My stuttering
It
is
was
kind of bad today.
impossible for Asogi to have left that message. And that reason is, it was clearly written here. Instant death from trauma to the cervical vertebrae. Instant death.
Ah!
In other words, he could not have written those words after falling to the floor. After all, he was already dead.
That's not all. I recall one other issue regarding Kazuma's cabin. No matter how you look at it, the traces at the scene contradict the accidental death.
Really?
So Susanoo noticed it too. There's still something that strikes me odd, even putting aside the Russian message. And that piece of evidence proves that this wasn't an incident. Accident.
I'll just save now just to make sure for yourself.
Yeah,
Just to make sure you're safe.
I think I might know it.
Honestly, I forgot what the answer to this one was, to be honest.
I'm trying to remember the answer myself.
Let me see. The other proves that this wasn't an accident. No, what is it?
I'm trying to remember, I'll just listen to this track.
Actually, I don't even remember the name of this track.
It's Reasoning Battle.
Yeah.
I wanna say it's maybe this?
Go ahead, I forgot.
That looks like it.
Yeah, you got it.
It's these marks on the floor here.
But couldn't those have been left behind by the glass bell that was split too? So, man, my stuttering is bad right now.
Maybe close the stream and open it again, because mine's running fine.
No, it's my personal stuttering.
Okay, got it. Oh,
The one
that's what you mean.
Yeah, the one that can never be fixed.
Okay.
Something that could have happened when the victim was falling over. Yes, that's right. If you think of it that way, there shouldn't be any problem.
Unfortunately, there's one fatal flaw with your reasoning.
What?
If it was really the case, then answer me this. Why was the other half of the broken bell found in the other cabin?
Ah!
The other half of the glass bell was found in this waste bin paper. Waste paper trash.
It's in the trash.
Might you offer us an explanation, Nikomina?
Thus, the truth has been revealed by these two pieces of evidence can only be as follows. When Asogi died, he was not alone. Another person was in the cabin. Furthermore, that person tampered with the scene of the crime. All to escape the crime they committed!
When the incident occurred, there was another person present at the scene.
Ha! Rubbish! Oh yeah, he still has it on his head. Another person, you say? We already knew!
What do you mean, sir?
You will forget your stowaway cabin? Ah! When the exchange student died, another person was you!
Sir! Indeed, I was present in the cabin during that time.
To be more precise, he was stunned inside that cabin's wardrobe.
But, if I was the culprit, how do you explain the Russian message you left behind?
To be more precise, it's not that you didn't write it, but more like you couldn't.
Excuse me, could you please shut up for a minute?
Well, pardon me.
Anyway... The culprit wrote wardrobe on the floor in Russian. All in order to frame me, sound asleep inside the wardrobe for his crime.
Furthermore, they retrieved this piece of glass bell lying on the floor. They removed it from the scene because it would become evidence of Kazuma's murder.
But if that were true, there would be no point unless all the fragments were discarded. Half of it was left at the scene. Do you not find that strange?
Well...
The crime occurred a little past 1 a.m. The cabin's interior must have been rather dark. Lights were supplied by one small lamp. Little of it must have reached the floorboards. It would be unimaginable for the killer to have overlooked some glass.
Everyone suspecting me.
Mr. Stroganoff?
Mr. Stroganoff. Oh, right.
This girl was originally daughter of seaman. 2 years ago, scouted for talent and sold to the ballet group. Until then, this ship was her stage. She danced with band for sailors. No more accusations against our ship's delegate ferry.
Never could have imagined.
When exchange student died, you think girl was in cabin too? There we go, I refound the voice. It's not possible! No chance! Ever!
How intriguing. Why are you able to declare that with such conviction?
Ha! You do not already know, great detective? Door to cabin was locked from within. Nicomita is not only one was alibi, it's also true for everyone else. Entering cabin would be impossible.
That's right.
But how did you mention it? I have read such a thing in mystery novels before. Almost like these. A needle and thread could be used to open the door from the outside.
Needle and thread? Ridiculous! Doors in this ship were built strong. Cannot be opened by flimsy thread and needle.
What you say is fact. The doors of a steamship, after all. Trying to keep water out is made out of heavy iron. Not even magnets would work.
That's what I thought. It was simply because Naruhodō has spoken of this earlier.
Sato, you're mean.
Throwing you under the bus.
Then, as I initially presumed, unlocking the door from the outside is impossible.
But it's not impossible by any stretch of the imagination.
What are you saying?
Allow me to say this. If you were to leave that door to me, I could latch it shut without ever so much as touching it once. And right now, this cabin holds a trace of that very method.
Are you serious?
How about you, Master Naruhodō? Don't you also know of such a
Instead
method?
of latching the cabin door shut from the outside? Indeed, you're right. I can think of only one way.
Is that true, Naruhodō?
Yes, after all, we both witnessed it.
Well then, would you kindly point that out for us, Master Naruhodō?
Uh,
What is the proof that suggests the door was locked from the outside?
the emergency,
But I mean traces in this room, specifically.
What looks strange?
I mean, what looks like it'd be traces of how the door was locked.
Does it?
You cleaned it.
Oh! Please take a look at this bookshelf. Various books and trinkets are scattered all over the place.
It's likely that they fell down during the emergency stop earlier.
Okay, that's what they mean. Okay, I was trying to figure out just like the, yeah.
Yes, there is no mistake about that, considering how massive the ship is. A tremendous force will travel throughout the ship's interior if it were to stop abruptly. As such, it would be only natural that a couple of small items will topple over.
If I recall correctly, this force is also known as inertia.
Thank you, Google!
As usual, Susanoo knows about some complicated stuff. And when that force toppled over the bookshelf, there was one more thing that moved within the cabin. And that would be the latch on the door.
What?
After that emergency stop earlier, I understood everything. At that time, none of us had latched the door. Despite that...
Ah! That's right! When the ship stopped, the door had latched shut!
This door's latch may have been made of metal, but it's small and lightweight. Due to the earlier mentioned force inertia, it would move from its place, which also means it's a really shitty lock. Like, dude, real talk.
Could you be implying that last night, after the incident occurred,
Let's see here. Oh shit, my time. Oh shit, it's time for you to go. Okay.
this ship, the SS Eclair, pulled over for an emergency stop?
The variation of the theme.
Yeah.
Oh, this is when that theme played. Okay.
Yeah, it's a variation. Anyways.
When I woke up this morning, I couldn't help but feel that something was off. The books and the trinkets on the shelf had all fallen over. It was as if a whirlwind had swept through the room. It looked just like it does right now.
Oh, now that you mention it, the items certainly were scattered about. Although everything is neatly put back together by now.
That's right after I entered this room. I was very surprised. All the books and ornaments have fallen over in the exact same way as Sogi's room.
Ah!
What do you say to that, Nikomina?
Kill this man. it's such a clerk stopped? Ridiculous! He is right. Stopping the ship is no simple task. Or are you implying that the culprit is one of the ship's engineers?
Oh, come now. The matter is nothing that complicated, my fellow.
What?
It's even on one of the walls in the corridor. Check out the emergency alarm.
Yes, that is true. In event of an emergency, this button is to be pushed. It's clearly written on the hallways.
During the dense foggy nights, those on Lekka cannot assure safety with their eyes alone. As such, buttons are installed on the ship to allow the crew to issue emergency warnings. Such a fascinating punch just begs to be pushed. At least once or twice.
Then you...
When that button is pressed, an emergency alarm is rung. It causes the ship to come to a complete stop and alert everyone of the ship of the situation. Just like earlier.
Excuse me. Could it be that you...
It is my belief that buttons exist for the sole purpose of being pushed. At any time and in any way.
The great detective certainly doesn't know the meaning of the word fear.
Just press the button.
You rat! Who are you thinking you are? I will report you to Captain. Be ready for punishment.
Calm down, my friend. Why don't we postpone that to a later time? Anyway, with the alarm raised, I was able to confirm something. If the ship was to make an emergency stop, the cabin's latches would lock themselves. And so, there is but one question to ponder next.
That would be, of course, last night, after the Cosmos incident. Did this ship make an emergency stop?
It's not that simple. Giant steamship cannot just make an emergency stop. Such use as it did will wake everyone from their beds.
What do you think, Master Naruhodō?
It could be that. Last night there was some kind of emergency stop made by the ship. And I might be able to prove what happened at the very least.
What? Does such evidence truly exist, Naruhodō?
That is highly interesting. Please show it to us, by all means.
What's the evidence that suggests?
What is the evidence that suggests this ship made an emergency stop last night?
Mr. Stroganoff, you were on security lookout for the first class cabin area, correct?
Huh? I mean, yes. What about
The
it?
ship's log is a record of that lookout, correct?
Ah, that is mine.
Ah yes, it looks like you accidentally forgot about it and left it on the desk. So I took the responsibility of taking it to my custody in order to bring it back to you.
Was not accident. I left it on purpose.
In any case,
Yeah, same
if
thing.
you take a look through the record, at a regular 30-minute intervals, nothing unusual is written within the log. However, starting from 2 a.m., there are no records written at all.
None at all? That is just... Well, obviously was nothing unusual.
If there was nothing unusual, then nothing unusual should have been written.
Indubitably, in other words, after 2 a.m., on board the Eclair, something had happened. Something could point up to cause someone to even forget the ever so important ship's log.
And that would be the emergency stop.
Do not be making ridiculous assumptions. To be honest, I also seem to have trouble believing that such a thing could have happened.
And why is that?
Well, just think about it. Consider the magnitude of such an incident. No matter the circumstances, certainly we would have noticed it.
That is true. After all, we just had a taste of that emergency stop ourselves. Such an incredible alarm, and such an incredible heave. No matter how deep in sleep we could have been, we would have woken up from that.
Well, you certainly have a point there.
Have you all noticed the throbbing as well?
What? What could you be referring to?
Your heads. For some reason, ever since this morning, my head has just been killing me.
Now that you mention it, I have not been feeling the best for whatever reason ever since this morning.
I haven't either. My head has been feeling heavy all morning.
As I had suspected, it's been much the same for everyone.
That's right, now that I think about it, it's been the same for me as well.
Especially that ringing.
After eating dinner last night, I ended up feeling drowsy all of a sudden. I somehow made it to the wardrobe, but I don't remember anything after that. When I woke up this morning, the first thing I felt was a throbbing pain on my head. By the time I came to my senses, I was dragged out of the wardrobe. With both hands cuffed. There was no way I wouldn't have woken up from something like that.
Oh, by the way, Master Naruhodō.
By the way, I gotta boot my setup, so someone take over voice
Alright.
for me.
Okay, got it. You're the impudent stowaway who boarded this ship, correct?
Yes, much to my shame.
A stowaway shouldn't have been receiving meals. How did you come about your meal?
Oh, that's, well, you know. Asogi shared a bit of his meal with me.
If memory serves, the meal last night was roasted chicken.
Oh, come to think of it, I ate all of it last night. Asogi wasn't a big fan of chicken.
Ah, so the victim did not eat a single bite of the chicken.
That's right, but why is that important?
After relaying that information yourself, have you not come to realize anything?
Might she be saying that the chicken... Was abnormal?
Exactly.
Oh, so that's what it was.
Food provided by the ship last night was tampered with. When eaten, you'll be lulled into a sweet sleep, that kind of tampering. I got it. Sleeping drugs, you mean?
In that case, in order to put the ship to emergency stop, the culprit put sleeping drugs in all our food.
Naruhodō, I do think this is much too impossible a task to pull off.
Exactly. It's impossible to drug all the food on the ship. Assuming that the entire crew was not cooperating together on the matter. That is.
What?
What are your thoughts, good sailor? I am of the opinion that it would be difficult to cover up this matter any further. If you do not wish to talk, then I will request an official investigation on the ship. If it were to come to that, I'd imagine that you sailors and your captain would all be punished. Punished on the crime of assisting of a defection.
That is enough. I will tell everything.
What?
What?
I do not want to trouble sailors.
At one point, you were all comrades who traveled together, right?
That is why I asked them for help when I ran away.
Sailors, what wanted to help? Help princess who abandoned her motherland and her ballet troupe. How in heavens could this be? As you say, last night's chicken was drugged heavily.
Now I think about it, there was some bitter lumps mixed in.
Yes, sleeping drugs probably did not dissolve all the way.
Ugh, what kind of seasoning is that?
Around midnight, Princess board a ship in a green area at an open sea. Smugglers bring her on small fishing boats.
And we, the passengers, remained sound asleep, blissfully unaware of what was occurring. Thanks to that sweet magical spell cast on the delicious chicken.
Then, the people who were awake on the ship last night were the entire ship's crew, as well as all who held a deep-rooted hatred of chicken and...
Remember, there's only one person.
of the ship, Nico Mina. In other words, it would have been possible for you to utilize the inertia from the ship's emergency stop to latch the shut door.
Also, I'm going to be right back, so Jason, your job.
But if the events had indeed panned out as you claim, wouldn't all the latches on the ship log, causing a huge commotion? No, I don't think so. What?
Oh, I get it. Last night we all had our meals in our own respective cabins, and then we were overcome with incredible drowsiness and went to sleep.
Consequently, all the passengers were in their own cabin.
Ah!
Nothing would be out of place if they were to find. Nothing would be out of place if they were to find the latch on their cabin door shut, and that is why not a single soul noticed anything unusual. In other words, for the sake of wait, what? All those who refuse to check the doggies are fated to die.
Chicken nuggies!
The Shogi did not eat his chicken nuggies, therefore he had to die.
Ronald McDonald came into his room and said, "You didn't eat my McNuggies.
Chicken
It didn't have to be this
The
way."
chicken selects, and it selects you to die.
In other words, for the sake of shutting merely one latch on the ship, the culprit forced the SS Eclair to make an emergency stop. You talk on and on about this, but what is your point? It is just as you have heard. There is no doubt that there was a third party present at the crime scene. For the purpose of framing someone else, they left a message in Russian on the floor. And they desperately hid the piece of glass that could serve as evidence. And to top it all off, they put the ship in an emergency stop to latch the scene's doors shut. I must say, it was a job well done.
But I know nothing about any of that.
Keep going with your funny jargon and big words if you want. But we sailors are not curious about your fancy logic games. We do not believe until we are seeing with our own eyes. That's quite the fine maxim you have there, huh? In truth, I am not Russian. In truth, I am of the same belief. What is seen by one's own eyes is everything. Master Naruhodō.
Yes?
Can you hear it? Cries of confession reverberate throughout the ship.
Cries of confession.
I'm sorry, I'm afraid I have no idea what you...
I'm back. The proof of the crime. It is not the ears that hear that voiceless voice. Rather, it is none other than the eyes. It all stems from observation.
You still don't make no sense. What is your point? Was that Urban entering?
Yeah.
He's Vic.
Hey, Urban.
Now, let's begin. This time, once and for all. For the sake of reaching the final truth, we'll begin the theater of logic and reason. Now, with that said, it's a pleasure to work with you, Master Naruhodō.
Mr. Holmes, what on earth is this?
There's no time to question. I can bend time and reality. It's just as I've said. We are to observe them.
Observe them?
At the moment when Cosma passed away, some individual had tampered with various things at the crime scene. We are to locate the traces of the happening, correct?
Exactly. You catch on quickly.
I got it. I'll give it a shot.
This is my favorite variation of this track.
Point out the traces of the third party present at the crime scene. What the traces of the third person at the crime scene? I would think the markings on his face? Would that be it?
Now remember,
That's just for the snake, and the snake's irrelevant.
Thick arm.
Yes, these manly, thicky arms.
Can you turn all the way around?
Yeah, you can. Remember, observe everything.
Are they just like walking around, these guys?
Can you examine like the face marks for me? Oh, never mind.
No, man, the fake radiographs are irrelevant. Alright.
Also, let...
Oh, Urban, you were around for that. The face, the markers on his face is probably...
They're irrelevant, basically.
They're relevant now to what actually happened. Mr. Stroganoff?
Yeah.
You have a purple stain on your white uniform.
So you into that? Huh? Oh, must be smudged from somewhere.
Would you happen to know of anything about that stain?
What are you saying?
As of this moment, we are still unable to pinpoint the significance of that stain. about we go ahead and clear that up?
That purple stain clinging on Mr. Stroganoff's uniform.
I believe it is obvious that's what its true identity is.
Exactly. Well then, kindly present the piece of evidence if you
Yes,
would.
sir! Those traces left on Mr. Stroganoff's uniform. The evidence that points to their true nature is...
Purple Kool-Aid!
Bruh.
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah. What the hell was that my Naruhodō?
I decided to go with the
What did he say?
It's in court. No, hold on.
Go back to save. Go
no,
back
wait,
to
hold
save.
on, hold on.
Transcript. Bottom.
Backlog.
Yeah, backlog.
That's supposed to be back to Naruhodō. I went back on the stream. I read
I
it there.
decided to just go with the flow and let logic speak for itself.
It pops up on the screen. No, it pops up on the screen and goes, no, hold
Go
on.
back to Japan.
Like,
What in
no.
the fuck was that, Naruhodō?
He literally started to go, bruh.
What's going that cross my mind? Yeah.
Alright, we're gonna go over
There
this
was
again.
no purple stains there. That was just shoe polish
Okay,
stains.
yeah.
And a bell.
I instinctively think of shoe polish being black, so like.
Well, this one was purple, so
Well, like.
I do like that he clarifies why it's wrong.
yeah.
Just making sure.
What did you present the first time? You did it so fast.
I did.
The
You
cat
presented the shoe polish.
Shoe polish, I did.
Wait. Kind of purple. He has a purple stain.
Would be. There it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
Alright.
crime scene, yeah.
I was on the right track, I just say.
There's so
One of the
many
things
types
where
of
you know what is a case of I know what it
Just
is,
not
but
the
which one do I
specific
present to prove
evidence,
it?
yeah.
Yeah.
I think those are pretty different.
The true identity of the stain is ink.
If you say.
Purple ink, a most uncommon color.
The font, yeah. Just.
Yeah. Sherlock Holmes, I say, what was that, Naruhodō?
A bluff? Bluff?
You don't bluff it here.
That's you're like 100
Anyway.
years too early.
Stroganoff? Season?
Whatever, just continue.
Oh!
You see, I've realized the meaning behind that.
The Russian words on the floor of the scene of the crime were written in purple ink. It's the exact same color as your stain on your uniform!
If he could dry, then it would have been impossible for it to stain. Therefore, immediately following the event of that ink spill, you were present in this cabin.
Fine, I talk. I tell you everything I did. First, I tampered with evidence in dead exchange to this cabin, and shed Lash using ship's emergency stop. All to divert suspicion away from Princess.
Mitro.
It's okay, Princess. I do the talking. It was around 1 a.m. I had been keeping watch on that corridor. Princess, face pale with fear, went over to me.
Mitro, help! Please!
When we reached cabin, the door was open. Went looking to cabin, and I saw exchange student collapse onto floor. What happened here?
Don't tell anybody. But my friend...
Princess told the truth. What happened in cabin is exactly what she said.
Little kitten ran to Sogi's cabin for the air duct. Sogi then tumbled over the kitten that was around her feet, ending his life. I'm just like, one ball, like, that would be an injury, but kill him?
Yeah, exactly. And following that, Miss Nikomina had visited the cabin next door, correct?
It was said that she found the victim's corpse. I summarized that would be the case.
Yeah, she heard fall, so she went to look. Right, princess? Cabin door was not latched shut. Princess could tell in a single glance what had happened in that room.
I have one thing I would like to confirm.
What is it?
By the time you visit Kazuma's cabin, Nikomina, Kazuma had already passed. Is that correct? Huh?
Well, Ping, it's like, yeah, I know that's what they're implying, but still, just like, falling on the floor, like, yeah, that would injure him, but kill him? Like, that seems a little far-fetched, for me on that one.
Yes, that is what I
Especially
said!
if he's 23, that means he's, like, he's not elderly or anything like that, so.
When Princess peeked into cabin, exchanged two.
I am asking Nikomina.
Nikomina, your answer?
Duh. Oh? Yes, it is right. I looked inside cabin. Man in black on floor, not moving. Got so scared. I understand. I will believe those words.
This time, for sure. That must be the truth behind Asogi's death.
Oh yes, that reminds me. There's something I forgot.
Mr. Holmes?
Look at this photograph. This is something I took myself. The cause of death was fracture of the cervical spine. His death was most likely instant. And the cause of all that was a kin that unfortunately caught his feet and tripped him. However, if that was indeed the case, then I'd like you to take a look at this photo. For there's a natural element present in it.
What do you mean? Unnatural?
Master Naruhodō, what is your opinion on the matter?
Sir! Sogi's life ended unfortunately due to an accidental fall. And that supposedly unnatural element lies within this photo.
Alright, this one's tricky. I remember it being a little bit tricky.
In
This one is.
Photo, would it be that he's facing forward if he fell back?
I'll leave it up to you.
Sogi couldn't have left those Russian letters behind. Therefore, it's obvious his fingertip is what's strange.
Well, that is true. It certainly is strange. It's no fortune may tamper with the scene with, after all. It wouldn't be considered unnatural. I'm sorry to burst your bubble.
Is that so?
Try to imagine the scene. The victim was suddenly tripped and fell over. At this moment, an unnatural element regarding the victim's fallen body reveals itself. This is what I believe, and so, too should you.
That's Mr. Holmes for you. Softly but surely pressing onwards.
Yeah, that wasn't it. What's unnatural if he fell?
Yeah, if he fell, he should have something.
Or like, I mean, that's a weird way of phrasing it, but still.
Injury on the neck?
No, I mean, any external injuries from snapping your neck are only present.
What would you do if you fell?
Yeah. No.
He's dead, Jim.
I'm trying to figure out exactly what they want me to point at.
Bullet side.
It's left hand? I don't think that would be...
Let's wait.
It's the lack of.
I think I'll give you hints like after you present one more thing.
The head? Yeah, I would think maybe the headband?
I'll see what's wrong with the headband.
I'm kind of stumped on this one. Gonna say the headband?
No. Not the headband. You were close though.
The face?
You don't get a freebie this time, boy.
Okay, then.
Yeah. It's fine.
Yeah.
I think we can get back forth if you already read it.
That part they won't let me go through.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, because you got it wrong for the first time, yeah. Yeah. So think, just if he fell over, what is wrong with how he's looking? His body is. He fell over.
He fell over.
You can just hold down the fast forward. Yeah.
Well, Patrick, if you fell, you had no control over your body.
Yeah.
The hand?
If you fell and you died, you lack control.
Eye?
No?
No?
The hand? No. We already gone over the hand.
Well, the right hand is
Well,
not
the right.
it.
Yeah. What about the other one?
If you fall on the right, then his feet are jarringly out of place.
Why would he clench his fist? My thoughts exactly. Usually, if one were to fall, their hands would naturally be open.
Yeah.
Wow, that's okay.
No. It's like unusual, but it makes sense.
It still makes sense.
Yeah.
Right. Despite that, the victim's left hand was clasped firmly in a fist. Yes, almost as if he was holding something inside that fist.
What?
What?
Oh yeah.
And so you see, I went ahead and investigated the contents of the victim's fist earlier.
Huh?
Yeah, Brenda, you were right.
Now, what do you suppose came out, ladies and gentlemen?
Let us see. Please, let us see.
Yes, of course. I'll let you see all you wish. It was this right here.
Might this be a crescent moon adorned with a diamond?
Indeed, this does seem like the world's most beautiful
See if
crescent
this is
moon.
the other one.
What of it?
Wonder what this could mean. Feel like I've seen it somewhere before.
That's definitely just observation, Master Naruhodō. The truth will soon be clear to all.
That crescent moon is like grass. Must have come from somewhere.
Now, Master Naruhodō, it's finally time for the last clue. Just what in the world will this crescent moon reveal to us? Observe with your own two eyes.
Nikomina? I can see the crescent moon hanging on your ear.
Ah? What?
But your other ear is lacking the same crescent moon, and it looks like the delicate decoration was broken off.
And furthermore, the crescent moon was discovered in the victim's hand. The truth that I gather from these facts can lead only to one conclusion. Don't you agree, Master Naruhodō?
Yes. Nikomina, Asogi ripped the crescent moon from your ear. It's very unlikely that happened just before he fell to the ground. So in other words, last night, in the instant Asogi fell over, you were standing right in front of him. You must know what I mean. The earring was within reaching distance of his extended hand. Then why? Why had Asogi done something like that? Plucked the earring right off your ear, and even though he was dead, he kept clinging to it.
Oh.
Princess.
This time, you'll have to face the music. Nobody can protect you. Please answer me, Nikomina. Last night, just what did you do to Asogi? Asogi. I don't know why.
You said the name wrong!
This is actually his true pronunciation the whole time. That triggered it.
Good job. Thinking now, too many things happened yesterday. Run from Shanghai, rowboat looking from big steamship at night. And then, after such a vital day, I sit and rest in my cabin. No, wait! When Kitty ran into air duct, I turned pale. I whistled and called for Kitty. I tried to bring it back with toys. But Kitty would just not come back.
What are you doing at such a late hour, detective? Do pardon my manners, my lady. I was certain that an acquaintance of mine had come for a visit.
The Asian exchange student was polite, understanding too. He helped me look for Blackie, promised to keep secret. But as I grabbed Blackie and tried to leave cabin,
Excuse me, my lady. Please wait a moment.
what?
I kind of feel as if I've seen your face somewhere before.
Huh?
Right. You are the Russian ballerina. Miss Borshevich, am I mistaken?
What? No, I am not knowing that person. My heart freezes in terror. I know this was dangerous discovery. Why did Agent Exchange Student recognize Russian ballerina?
I was struck by the beauty of that public ballet performance I'd seen in Japan. However, tell me, why might you be on this ship? As I recall, shouldn't you be heading to Shanghai right now?
I know I could not trick him. Had to make friends with him so he would stay quiet. No other option.
I see. You defected.
Please, do not tell anybody about Nico.
If that's the case, please wait for a moment. There's someone who I wish to discuss this with.
He's going to ring bell and tell ship captain. Exchange you is not so pathetic after all. That one incident felt so long. But that this happened at once. Wait! Could not help but yell to him. Kitty jumped out of my arms and ran into exchange student's feet. And then, when he turned to look back,
Okay.
I pushed him away hard as I could. After that, I am remembering
So-
nothing.
He fell onto the.
He got pushed. He got pushed and also tripped and then hit the. I assume hit the bed
Okay,
thing
if,
hard.
if
Yeah,
it's the
he hit
bed.
the
fro- Okay, that
Yeah.
makes a bit more sense at that point. Okay.
Yeah, I feel like that could probably kill
Yeah, 'cause
someone.
if it's
Yeah,
just the
no,
floor,
Pat, 'cause like
yeah, 'cause
you-
if it-
Like you at that point, I was also asking the same question. I was like, I don't think hitting the floor would kill
yeah,
him.
if it
And then we got here, I just go, okay, okay.
that's a bit
okay,
more.
if-
I could.
I mean,
That's
that
a bit
makes more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why push him? Still not sure. I just wanted to stop him. Wanted to stop him from telling anyone.
And it was then you decided to call out for help. Specifically, help from Mr. Stroganoff, the man guarding the hallway.
I heard a scream and loud noise, so I rushed to scene. In front of cabin, Princess was shaking. She said,
We drove help. If I am caught, there is no place left to run.
And so, you tampered with the crime scene in Asogi's cabin? All to divert any suspicion away from the passenger and the cabin next door.
yes, it's correct. I checked both corpse and whole cabin to be sure. Then I found him. Stowaway was sleeping like baby inside wardrobe.
That would be me.
At that point, you must have schemed. To have the entire plan pinned on the stowaway. Is that correct?
I closed wardrobe and stuck syringe seal back on door.
Ping. The weakest depth in all of Ace Attorney? I wouldn't say that. It's definitely low, but I'm thinking through my head. I still think Ace Attorney 2 Case 3 is still one of the...
Like, I mean, what do you mean by like how? What does that play like in terms of like gruesomeness or
in
like
terms
how
of just,
exactly?
like, really that killed him, kind of thing. I think that's
Yeah.
what they're asking.
I may. I mean, like, what's it called for Ace Attorney like 2, 3? It's not like that's what. It's more like
Yeah,
the whole thing with the
yeah.
cape. Basically, was that was the thing. It's the murder scheme. Like, didn't make much. The murder was.
Yeah, I can't. I'm trying to think off the top of my head if there's like any other.
Because I mean, most Ace Attorney guests go really over the top.
Most are like really blunt drama or like a stab wound or stuff like that.
Like,
No, like in actuality, this is one of the this is
well, the tamer way
Yeah.
someone
What
dies
a
in Ace
paperwork.
Attorney.
yeah.
Just
I mean,
neck
compared
snap.
compared to the last case
Yeah.
as well.
This is also the kind of scenario that could actually happen in real
Yeah.
life.
Yeah. More grounded, I guess.
Next to that, it became Sato's chance to unload her doubts on me.
Oh, that's right. That's just because Apollo Dresser sucks.
Yeah, I forget, how did even that person in 4-3 died? Like, I forget what was the actual... It was a gunshot for that one, right?
I want to say it was a gunshot for.
Yeah,
It's been
I assume it got
I
shot.
think it was a gunshot,
It's
yeah.
been a minute. I try to block.
Yeah, I try to block a lot of that
We can
case from my
remember
mind.
We can remember later.
Anyway, Jason?
I moved corpse and wrote words using ink spilled on floor. Culprit hiding inside wardrobe.
On a related note, which one of you cleaned out the broken glass?
I did it. I picked up glass shards.
Oh, did you?
The room was so dark, only found half.
After this, I returned prisoner to cabin and add final touches.
So you push the alarm button along the corridor?
That is correct.
Thus, this is a clear resort to an emergency stop. To close at 2 hours, close to 2 hours past midnight. The door latched shut, thereby completing the creation of our locked room.
Could I have a word with you?
Yes?
Last night, when you explained your defection to Asogi, it looked as if he was gonna notify the captain, therefore you pushed him. You said that yourself, right?
Yes. Right.
But hypothetically speaking, even if he rang the bell to call the captain, every single sailor on the ship is an ally of yours, right? What reason would you have to worry?
Good question.
The first thing that exchange student had said to me struck me with fear.
First thing he said?
What are you doing at such a late hour, detective? Do pardon my manners, my lady. I was certain that an acquaintance of mine had come for a visit.
Detective. Acquaintance.
Just
That means. So Sogi was referring to me. Was referring to me, responsible as his bodyguard.
If he told this detective, I know I would be arrested. So before he could ring bell... Before you continue, Nikomina. I cannot help but be bothered by something. Are you sure that Cosmo really planned to ring that bell? Huh? Naruhodō, what are your thoughts?
I'm not him, so I can't say for certain, but... At the very least, I do know one thing. Sogi isn't the kind of person to call for extra brawn out of nowhere.
But he really walked toward Bell. He wanted to ring it. To deport me. To Russia.
Well, Master Naruhodō, it appears we're in need of one last reasoning session.
Reasoning, you say?
What did the victim actually try to do in that moment?
I figured for a while as soon as it, said went for the bell, was trying to go for the wardrobe.
Oh.
Just what could have laid before his eyes? How about we take a look for ourselves? Now, I trust you remember where the victim was located in the cabin, yes?
Yes, I can clearly recall anything about that cabin. Even if I was crammed within that wardrobe, I'd still spent practically my entire voyage in that cabin.
Then, this must be what Cosmo saw last night.
Yes, there's no doubt about it.
I trust you're ready then, Master Naruhodō.
Yes, today I learned something important. In someone's line of sight, there exists a truth that you may not realize, and in order to bring that truth to light, you can't overlook anything that lies within that line of sight, no matter how slight. When Sogi turned his back to Nikomina, this is what laid in his line of sight.
I recommend just examining the wardrobe just for the dialogue as well.
Cabin's wardrobe. When the incident had occurred, I had been sleeping within it. Hadn't eaten that chicken laced with sleeping drugs. It could have woken me up. That incident may have never occurred. Considering the circumstances last night, it's true that it would appear as if Sogi was trying to ring the call bell. Indubitably... Oh, sorry.
Indubitably, however. Besides that call bell was a wardrobe.
Wardrobe.
And within that wardrobe was his friend, sleeping ever so soundly.
Ah! Nikomina, please remember. The victim, Cosmo, what did you say in that moment?
If that's the case, please wait for a moment. There's someone who I wish to discuss this with.
Discuss.
He had no intention of calling the crew. He simply wanted to wake up his good friend and discuss how they could help you. Is there anything we can do? Probably something like that.
No. Of course, as it stands now, it is impossible to know the full truth. But as for what lays within Kazuma's line of sight, you should have made sure what was that is.
Nikomina? Thank you for telling us the truth in the end. However, the fact that you took away his life will never disappear. Please, don't ever forget that.
I am sorry. Truly. Very sorry.
Thus, the curtain lowered on quiet. On the incident involving the SS Claire. So what will happen to Nikomina?
She used to be turned over to the British Empire's Scotland Yard.
She be granted asylum? Won't Russia demand that she be handed over to them?
A great British detective plans to negotiate with the immigration office on that matter.
Mr. Holmes? Then will she ever be able to return to Russia?
I would assume so. Even if she wishes to in the future, she would not ever be able to return to her homeland. Especially considering what happens later. That is the best thing for her. Yeah, that is what it means to be a defect. I'm very sorry.
Juggernaut?
Only wanted to help the princess, but you lost best friend. I did not think of your feelings. Princess and I will turn selves over to Scotland Yard.
See. In any case, thank you for returning my freedom. No matter how much I mourn the Sogi, pain will never go away. But good luck with Nikomina.
Thank you. Now then, it would be best to prepare for disembarkment
Also,
soon.
yeah, cleaned up real quick. During it.
It's called makeup. This ship will arrive at Hong Kong tomorrow. I am deeply sorry, but on top of turning you over to the council, you will be
Reimparted.
You will be reimparted to your home country.
I understand.
Thank you.
I was a stowaway after all. That wasn't going to be overlooked.
With that said, shall we return to the cabin?
An exchange program to Britain, too, has ended before it even began. The two of us laughed so much we made plans to wreak havoc on London. Now, it just feels like a far-fetched memory. I can hear someone sobbing. Sada?
Oh my. How long have you been there?
I just got here. Detective Hasanaga just told me to start prepping for a disembarkment of the ship.
I am still finding this whole matter quite unbelievable. To think someone's life could just end so quickly, so prematurely.
Susato.
Kazuma sent out on his grand journey with holding a grand dream. And then someone showed up and heartlessly cut that dream apart into pieces. I will never let them get away with this. At least, that's what I thought. Instead, the truth of the matter was just an unfortunate collection of confusing little accidents. It is too much. Just too much bleeding.
It really is.
I am afraid I cannot offer any words of apology for that matter.
Detective.
That was me.
My duty was to ensure that Soki made his voyage to the British Empire safely. Not only was I unable to accomplish that, but I also made his friends suffer. I, Hasunaga, would do anything you ask as a means of apology.
I don't want the blame to be on you. As you see, I'm finally free at last. Huh?
This dude.
That surprised you there, Master Naruhodō.
What on earth are you doing?
It's nothing, really. It's just that, you see, those handcuffs have been fully burned into my memory. If they were to go away, it would tip the balance. I find it difficult to look at you again. As commemoration, I'll leave them hanging from your wrists. You are a stowaway, after all.
Just how mean can he be?
Mr. Holmes. I would like to thank you for everything you have done on this voyage. Please accept my humble gratitude from the bottom of my heart.
No, I feel the same way. I apologize for my late manners. What happened to your friend was truly a pity. I express my sincerest condolences.
Man, they were Sue over that.
I pray that you study enough in Britain for his part as well.
Unfortunately, that will not be happening. We will be disembarking at the next port, Hong Kong. We will then report to the council on site and make our way back to Japan.
Huh? Wait, please! Wasn't it supposed to be me, the stowaway, who was supposed to go back?
There is an agreement between both countries over who the exchange students would be. Together, one attorney, and one legal assistant.
Together.
Now that the lawyer, Osogi, has passed away, the exchange program has to be suspended. There is no other choice.
It doesn't matter what happens to me. But Susada shouldn't be involved.
Oh, come now. The solution is simple. In other words, as long as there's another attorney, your journey can continue.
But there isn't anyone else who can fulfill that qualification of the attorney.
Qualifications? Don't make me laugh. Your country's qualifications hold no weight whatsoever in the British Empire anyway.
Then...
Come what may, there is still 1 month left until this ship reaches London. During that time, I do not think it would be impossible to find a substitute attorney.
I see.
Hey, Susada?
Yes, what is it?
Could I possibly fill that role?
What?
But you are not an attorney. Oh, could you possibly be a law student?
No, not exactly.
If that is the case, then that possibility is no more than a dead end.
However, there is still 1 month left before we reach London. Isn't that right, Master Naruhodō?
I'll study everything I need to in order to become an attorney throughout that entire month.
Naruhodō.
Ridiculous! Just what can you do in only 40 days?
I won't know until I try. 40 days. I'll study as if my life depends on it. So please, just give me a chance. If you can't acknowledge me as an attorney by the time we reach London, I'll accept whatever punishment there is.
But why would you do something so reckless?
Sogi once told me there was something he absolutely had to do in the British Empire, and to that end, he would be willing to make whatever sacrifices were necessary. I don't want his wish to die in a place like this. And, of course, I'm doing this for myself as well. I will become an attorney. I swear it. What do you think, Susato?
I think it's a wonderful idea.
Susato.
Your thoughts, Four-Eyed Detective?
On what?
One attorney and one legal assistant. The numbers are a proper match, no?
No! That's just plain
Codswallop?
Codswallop.
Codswallop!
I think it's just fine. It seems like it'd be fun.
Fun?
It's more potentially fun than, for example, duty or rules. And that's all there is to it.
The only one thinking that the only one thinking that's all there is to it is you. There,
Yes, I fired you up for that line. And furthermore, what's crucial isn't someone's qualifications, but rather their character. Won't you agree? Won't you say? Even you have seen it with your own eyes. Today, from the moment he woke up to even this very instant. Faced with the pain of his friend's death, along with being suspected as the murderer, you witnessed the accomplishments he made whilst carrying the weight of that burden.
I understand. I'll make sure our country's government understands the situation.
Dr. Hasanaga.
Come to think of it, I did promise you this just earlier. I promised that I would do anything you asked as a means of apology.
Thank you so much, Detective Hosanage.
Now then, I must make my way to the captain's quarters. I must report to our country about this matter and discuss our next course of actions.
Do you truly intend to begin studying law from here on?
Yes, and if it's okay with you, could you possibly teach me everything you know about being an attorney?
Of course. I'll be happy to lend a hand. I'm a legal assistant after all.
Thank you so much.
Now, following that, Naruhodō, if you would please, I would like to accept this.
What? Are you sure I should have this?
I'm sure Cosmo will wish for this as well.
It's the famed blade that has been passed down through the Asogi family for generations.
It's the famed blade that has been passed down through the Asogi family for generations. I am told its name is Karma.
Okay, I'll gladly accept it. So, once again, I look forward to working with you, Susato.
I'll be looking forward to work with you as well, Naruhodō. I will not allow you for even a single moment's rest throughout the next 40 days. I shall follow through with your throughoutly.
Of course, I wouldn't have it any other way.
The truth is, I have one more request to ask of you.
Huh? Yes. What might that be?
Please. Toss me 3 times!
Huh?
During the investigation, it was always clear that you would never do anything to hurt your dear friend Kazuma. That is undeniable. I knew that from the very beginning. Despite that, however, I came to suspect you. No matter how shaken up I may be, it was an awful thing to do.
No, it was completely understandable in that situation. The room was locked from the inside, and I was still...
No, I do not want to hear any excuses. The reason does not matter. Tossing you and all was terrible. Not just once, but 5 times.
Pretty sure she didn't do it that much.
So come on, do it! Toss me right over, with no hesitation.
No, 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 no. I've never tossed anyone before in the first place.
Yes, well, it's indeed something that not just anyone could do.
Mr. Holmes?
I've seen it countless times already, but I still can't get enough of that wonderful toss.
Just where he was watching that from.
Oh, from the coat hook.
I suppose that would be an example of your so-called Japanese martial arts.
Yes, it is that technique passed down long ago, but with my own unique style.
It's apparently called the Susato toss. If you ever get tossed, you'll be seeing stars.
Oh, that is quite intriguing. You see, I happen to be quite the skilled boxer.
Why is he dancing now?
Be so kind, would you teach me that wonderful toss of yours?
It would be my honor.
Why don't you try tossing something now then? It would be a good place to start my studies.
Oh, no.
I would be glad to.
Susato?
Now then, Naruhodō, do excuse me.
That's Susato, what are you doing?
Everything hurts. And that is how...
And that's how it's done. The whole toss. It has come from your guts.
Amazing, so this is the legendary technique, the Susato toss.
Everything is in pain.
No, this would be the deadly Susato drop.
Oh, God.
That's 4.
With my fading consciousness, the scene from the night flashed in my head for an instant. Yes, it's the great katana.
Yes, this is the great katana passed down through the Isogi family for generations.
I'm still surprised that the government was okay with it. Bringing a Japanese sword into a British Empire on an exchange program is a little...
The katana lies at the heart of our culture. I can't allow this to leave my side. No matter what, it'll always be here guiding me forward. That's what I believe.
One great strike to end all evil. That kind of attitude really suits you.
Yeah, that sounds about right. There is something I absolutely have to do in London, no matter what. And to that end, I'll make whatever sacrifices are necessary. And I'll be grateful if you would see that through with me.
Of course, I swear it. I'll see this through with you to the very end.
I knew you would say that.
Logie said that moment about what he had to do. Still don't fully understand what my goal might be. But I'll seek it with my own eyes. The British Empire's capital, London. And end of case 2. I need to see that end. There it is, alright.
The end. The end. That is the end for episode 2.
Alright, so let us save and then we will get our thoughts out.
Alright. Episode 3.
The Adventure...
The Adventure of the Runaway Room.
Alright. So we will be in London for the next episode.
Yep.
Yep.
Episode 3, we're finally in London.
Whew. Keep forgetting how good this OST
Alright,
is.
back to titles.
I keep
I didn't keep
remembering.
forgetting.
I keep remembering.
Alright.
I never forgot.
I never
Okay.
forgot.
So I don't know how popular of opinion it's gonna be with you guys, but honestly, I just felt that case was just kind of okay. Like, being totally honest, I pieced it together pretty early on. Like, I get that it's an accidental death, you know, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the case itself, I felt like I pieced together way too much of it so early on. And it's also kind of a consequence of there being so few characters in there. And
Yeah, there's so many.
I don't know, it was just not nearly as engaging as the first case. And I'd say just kind of on par with a lot of other Ace Attorney cases where it's not bad, but I didn't find it that great either. Just being honest. I do like the character moments that we had and stuff like that. I still feel like I need to warm up to Sherlock more. I think once we get to London, I think that'll really come in. I like the character moments that we have at the end. But yeah, Ping, I think that's another thing for me is that when I compare between Mia and Asogi, I honestly think Mia's death meant more. Being honest, even though it was so early on, I felt like it was just maybe it's a little bit that we have been here before in the series because it is a very similar thing. But you know, I feel like it was just kind of tradition for the sake of tradition. That's really what it kind of felt like to me.
That's fair.
I don't know if that's the popular opinion or not. That's just what I'm feeling after playing this case for the first time. But
I will say, at the very least, Pat, by the end of this duology, you end up thinking different about that. I can guarantee it.
Well, we'll see. I'm just saying in the here and now.
Yeah, here and now. That's fair to say.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Speaking about the here and now, first time going through it, I felt highly of this case, and I know a big effect of that was coming off of investigations.
Yeah.
Because like, you know, at some point it just it clicked to my mind that because of where we are, there isn't going to be a trial. And comparing this to investigations, I find the way that they did it in this game to be way more engaging, personally for me. And I assume because they didn't actually force a trial in here. It was just an investigation from start to finish. And another thing that I liked about it is that we find out what actually happened. It's also it's really hard to actually be mad at anybody.
Yeah, because it's quite the contrast from case 2 of the first game, where instead like the culprit was like literally the biggest piece of shit you could possibly make, basically.
I want to clarify, like, I didn't have a problem with it being an accidental death, kind of deal. I just think the actual case itself wasn't that interesting to me. I think was
like solving the murder itself. What you mean?
I had my theories pretty early on, and pretty much everything I thought was right on that of how it went down. So.
It also helps that when I was getting around to this case, like immediately I was tired that day, so I was like starting to like fall asleep in my chair. And then Logic Theater kicked in, and suddenly I was wide awake again.
Yeah, Logic Theater was easily the best part of this case, hands down. Because I really like that. Is that just gonna be a thing in like all the investigations now, or?
You had it the most. What's it called? You'll see. At the point, it still carries through.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think for now DGS structure is a bit different.
Yeah, DGS does not care about previous history structure and how it tells the story.
Because you notice that cases 1 and 2, you're still not an attorney.
Yeah.
Real quick, Urban in chat. My case I didn't like get the cause of death, Asogi with death flags, Susato and Sherlock to be honest, Susato and Sherlock, just how much they were keeping the dog, like, cut the man some slack. And yeah, I figured the kitchen was drugged. I didn't have too much of a problem with them, kind of deal.
No. Because I can tell Susato was also frustrated, like, because Hisogi died, basically.
Like I understand that.
And also Susato, like, genuinely apologized for the way
and the moment in the cabin after, I guess it's like, my problem is that I felt like there was no big escalation of this case, at all, and that's kind of some.
I feel like for your case, you want a trial. You want a trial, I assume.
Not necessarily it has to be a trial, but I just felt like there was no moment of like, oh, we got this case on the ropes or anything like that. It was pretty mellow throughout the entire time, and like, I don't know, it felt like there was no big flow to this case, like to a big point. By the time we figured it out, I didn't really have any like revelation, like, oh yeah, we're finally.
Also, admittedly, knowing what I know, it's also really kind of hard to go back and think about it the first time because I had the big picture in mind.
Yeah, honestly, it kind of is after going through both games.
Because
it's one of those cases when you go through both, the context for a lot changes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but
so we have the context. We have the context of Yudo, so we have different opinions.
That's probably why. But just as this might change by the end of the case, but I gotta say, I think the case 1 got me hooked on the DGS. This is just another Ace Attorney case to me, you know.
It's kind of funny how that was the exact opposite for Nico B. I'm not even joking. He thought first case was just another Ace Attorney case, and then he loved this one.
So weird.
I know, I don't understand anything anymore.
I think for me, as long when my first impressions, I think this was a good introduction in terms of your main cast, which is Suzuto and Holmes, because I think they're probably the highlights for this case specifically.
They were definitely the highlights.
Holmes specifically.
Also, it's a really quick go off. From what I've heard of DGS, it's very much the opposite.
No, they don't. I've
heard case 3 usually goes in hard on case 3 for both DGSs. I've kind of heard.
Yeah. Trust me when I say this game does not fall to that quote-unquote curse.
Like, honestly, that's real talk.
There is no curse in this series.
Real talk. That's more of a Danganronpa thing, I think, more than Ace Attorney. In all honesty.
You know what?
Yeah, because I think the case 3s for bar Ace Attorneys are not that bad.
I think the only 2 bad ones are basically Justice for All and Apollo Justice. I think are the only 2 like bad case 3s in my opinion.
And you know what? I'm actually really excited to get to case 3 because now knowing what I know, I want to.
You never gone back to case 3 after playing everything.
Yeah, after playing everything, I never got back to case 3.
Oh.
So now I want to go through it again, knowing what I know.
But even then, what's it called? Case 3 stands out on its more when going through the first time. Trust me. I feel like hearing your complaints, I feel like case 3 is gonna address them big time.
Yeah.
I have a feeling it will.
That's what I'm excited for. So.
And also, I still feel like it's not going to be what you expect. Honestly.
Like, let me put it like this: there was no like tooth moment in this case. You know. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. And so, I'll set up for me to be talking talking. Yeah.
Yeah, but like, I think like the big thing personally for me for this case is fact that we get our first taste of Sherlock, and just like
Sherlock is a time.
Sherlock is a time. And Sherlock doesn't calm down; he only ramps up.
Yeah. Also, what's it called? One thing I do like about this case is how it sets basically Naruhodō's motivations for being an attorney, basically, because like. Being for like most other Ace Attorney like protagonists, their motivations, let's be real, they're always through backstories. Literally all of them. This time Naruhodō really doesn't have one. You see his motivations through with him basically, and why he
like the individual.
I won't say this.
Sorry. Go ahead.
No, like I will say this. This is the last time you will see Hosonaga.
Yeah, I figured he wouldn't be too much.
Yeah, he's not. Yeah.
bigger character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I was stressed. I actually really do like the character moments and stuff like that for the main cast. In this case, I'm just not a big fan. Like I like the character moments. I'm just not a big fan of the actual case itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of the weird thing with DGS, because honestly, I feel like what's it called? I know I put this game in tier list, but honestly, I feel like this is the hardest game you can really rank each individual case. Honestly,
because they're all tied together so much.
they're all they're all a lot more connected than any Ishida game.
Yeah.
The sad thing, the most thing to remember is this case is the fact that Asogi could have lived without the if he hadn't eaten that
If
chicken.
he ate the
That's
chicken, he would have lived.
That's like
Goddamn
the
it!
biggest meme in the
Why
fandom.
must you hate
Like,
chicken, Hosogi?
If only you would have had your chicken nuggets.
Exactly. Eat your chicken, Asogi.
Which, speaking of which, oh boy, I cannot wait to see what you guys have added to the meme hole at this point. So we might.
Because it's like one of those things where what's it called? I guess I want to say more.
Go ahead.
Where it's like even though like parts of this case itself are weak, it's kind of I still kind of escalate just because I think in terms of like a piece of this overall story, I think it does a great job at that. It's more so just like things that like this case alone has, I guess.
I think the difference is we'll see when we get later on, but I think the thing is like for me in comparison, I think case 2 of the original Ace Attorney stands on its own. I think better than playing for this case the first time. I think is where I sit right now. Anything else we want to say on case 2 before meantime, or?
Reasoning battle is criminally underplayed.
I think what's it called? I probably will admit that case.
Than it actually does. I thought I only played 3 times. I got any time I played 4 times. That's still 4 times not enough. It's such a good track. It's one of my favorite tracks in DGS. And also on X30. It only just plays 4 times.
Maybe 5.
No, in my head, I only counted 3.
I counted 4. You just weren't paying attention enough. You love this track so much. Why didn't you remember that?
I counted 2 in this game. With 1.
Let me say my last thing. What's it called? I will admit, probably as its own thing, case 2 of the first game probably what's it called? Sticks out more, but I personally like how this case services the whole story better.
Well,
yeah.
Let's see when we get to the end, but yeah, so far, definitely I prefer case 1 over case 2.
Yeah. Alright.
Alright. Meantime, let's see what the hell you guys have come up with. O'Neal. Alright. Transition over to the hashtag. Let me.
Oh wait, and one more thing. I just thought about one more thing. I really like adding on to Logic Theater. I also like Logic Theater. Also maybe like Naruhodō as a character more.
Yeah.
Just because, like, it clearly shows that Naruhodō's the kind of person that's like, oh yeah, he would get involved in this, and look how much fun he's having.
Yeah, a really expressive character.
Alright, so, DGS love. Wow. Jeez.
The damn baby.
So far, after the voice actor, it's time to hold. What the? Okay. I feel like this is part of the joke I didn't. I wasn't part of. When the boys at Sophie return to DGS. Nice. No, hold on, at the beginning of the joke.
Man.
Well, you did.
I can't believe my boyfriend's dead.
When they died because they didn't eat the chicken nuggies.
Yeah, but they didn't want to eat their food, and they died.
Oh god damn.
What is that face thing? What is the editing thing people use? I swear they all used to say
Why did you do such a cursed thing?
I try to remember the name of the program,
it's like
but I know
program or something like that.
Yeah, it's deepfake and it's they're taking it from the Yakuza series.
Never have I fallen in love with a character so fast. Oh shit, here we go again.
Yeah. Yeah.
DGS out of context from the looks of it. He's clearly European.
I like sharing that.
That's it. Oh boy.
Oh no.
What?
Oh god, he blinked. Oh.
The blink. The blink.
Fighting over the British chat.
Only got to read 2 lines, and then he took
Naruhodō
it.
clears himself of murder, gets up front to have yet another murder charge.
What is this?
Oh boy.
Oh, it's Dominating. That face
It's
something
a little bad. It's a little better.
Well, he actually has his mouth open, so.
Got his eyes. Yeah, maybe that was another part that kind of, maybe that was another part that, possibly irked me about it was, just him getting charged for murder twice in a row, you know?
To be fair,
Yeah.
I've seen that reaction a lot when people first
Yeah.
play. Like, really?
Yeah.
If you want to
Yeah.
go to London with your boyfriend, but Susanna said Asogi has been murdered. Love this one so much.
Are you sure you want to do that? That's a good one.
Flaws in my deduction more likely than you think.
That's a really good one.
Look at these dudes.
Look at him. Look at him.
An Urbit? Oh, okay. Yeah, okay.
Man.
Man.
Sure like it, but
You know what? You know what? Hitting us with some facts and logic and do beat like that.
Yeah, there it is.
I didn't forget, Jason. I didn't forget.
Horse. In the art book. Oh.
Thank you, art group, for having a back reference. Okay, breathe.
Breathe. Jeez.
It's something they don't know.
Yeah, probably.
He was in the scenario. He went to the ocean just like force. And people were really confused.
Jesus.
I think this one is very accurate.
This is a beautiful man. You leave him alone.
But you notice all just casually showing up out of nowhere. So,
It's only-
that battle.
There will be no contest.
There
I'm
is no
telling you now.
context.
There is no contest. There is no contest. I'm sorry.
There's only DGS Sherlock Holmes. Are there
The
interpretations?
only
of law?
Sherlock Holmes.
Just today you're talking about snakes. They don't have any arms.
Talking about a cat.
Yeah, I saw that. Oh, that's an old
So,
one.
the toad over there is he's gonna find the princess in another castle.
That can't leave such a menacing picture.
Dog.
There we go. A Google.
Google.
You think I'm joking? Wait, you think I'm joking?
It too.
Travel
Yeah.
my boy Osogi.
He randomly broke when sharing
That was
that.
that's why we broke in Twilight Princess.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, poor Naruhodō.
Oh, fine. Oh no.
He will never go away.
He will always be here.
Hey Naruhodō, do you like boats?
I just realized as well that the audio, I did change the audio a bit, so there might be some resyncing I need to do on the post uploads.
Oh,
No,
fun.
what did you do?
Because I did switch it back after the Elgato stuff, so I might need to go back and edit the audio for the next 2 parts. So that's gonna be fun.
Oh.
And yeah, so we're gonna go and wrap for this session now at this point. Next DGS session, we'll see what Jason's schedule is so we can...
What is it, Jason? What is it?
Tomorrow. I'll find out tomorrow.
Alright.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, keep glued to the Discord if you want the message, if you want the invites, yada yada. Anyway, have a good night, everyone.